So I heard you guys are talking about wisdom this month, catching the theme. And amidst all of our planning for this event that Natalie brought up from Friday, we had a chance to talk a little bit last week because I said, I work a little bit like Dr. Goodall in that I channel at the time that I'm going to speak, so I don't always prepare a lot for talks. Other than the night before, the morning of, I do a lot of meditation and opening. We call it, in the Native American tradition, we call it the hollowing of our bones. And it's a tradition where we really remove our own psychology to make space for the divine to channel in. And so I've been doing that for several hours to bring whatever message is meant for each of you today. And sometimes, those hits come in, and I invite you to receive and to set an intention to receive, so that whatever it is you need most to feed your soul today is going to come through for you. Okay? So, this idea of sacred wisdom, intentional wisdom, it lives and breathes and it grows inside of us. It's not a static point. So keep that in mind. It allows us to show up in the world with greater discernment and greater love. And so coming from the traditions I come from, I was raised in Catholic traditions. I was a Native American pipe carrier by the age of 19 and studied Native American traditions. And then I studied all different world religions. I have taken my vows as a Buddhist, and studying with Dr. Goodall, I've learned a lot about Hinduism as well. So those are some of the things that inform what comes through me. Right now, in the Christian tradition, we're in Lent. We're finishing up Ramadan for the Muslim tradition, and we're also in Ango for the Buddhist tradition. All of these are times of concentrated practice. That's the common thread, concentrated practice, where we work at deepening ourselves. And so in the Buddhist tradition, we have two different sides of things. We have compassion is one wing of the bird, and wisdom is the other wing. And you need to keep them in balance, and they inform to keep you centered and in spirit. And so when we think about deepening our practice, deepening our soulful connection to the divine, and we bridge that with the wisdom side of things, Manjushri in the Buddhist tradition, Manjushri has a sword, and I love this viewpoint because it's not a warrior to the outside. Manjushri holds the sword to cut through illusion, to find truth, to find the source of exactly what it is your heart needs to balance with your compassion, to find the truth and therefore bring in the wisdom, so that we're not operating from this mind space and this mind stream of delusion and illusion in the world, that we stay very deeply connected. And so wisdom needs to be intentional to be in that place. It's not just intelligence, and it's not just experience. It's the intention of what you put that all into. So I'm going to ask you to awaken your attention right now, your attention, okay? Attention to yourself inside. Feel yourself very present right here in the room. Let go of anything you're worried about in the future. Let go of anything you're hashing out about the past. We're usually in one place or the other. But right here, right now, being present. Connect to your breath. That's an important piece of this, right? Your breath of life, your vitality. Connect to that. Feel how that expands your chest. What happens when you're expanding that space? What else do you feel in there? Your heart space, right? So awaken that heart space. Open it with your breath. That's your space of universal love. Now I want you to awaken your intention along with your attention. I want you to drop your attention down into your belly, about 2 to 3 fingers below your belly button. This is called your hara, your one point. This is the source of your chi, of your life energy. So now really feel into that space. As human beings, this is where that second higher wisdom brain is, connected physiologically to our brain in our head. But it's our gut. You know, we say we listen to our gut. We have a gut reaction. It's coming from this space. So hang out there for a minute. Now we've opened what I call the highway to wisdom. When you are in this space under your belly, in your hara, and you set an intention in that space of asking for the sacred wisdom. And you put faith with it. Let it rise through your body, through all of your chakras, going through your heart space, and right up into your third eye. And whatever shows up right there in your third eye is your sacred wisdom. You have intended and asked for something. So when you're really not sure what direction to go in, you start down in your hara. You set intention, you connect to yourself, you bring it up through your heart space and let it come up to your third eye. And what shows up there, without mixing it in with your brain and your intellect and your cognition, that is your sacred wisdom. That grows your trust and your faith, and it deepens that intuitive connection. So earlier on the screen, when we were doing our affirmations about wisdom, we said that intuition and sacred wisdom are the same thing. Sometimes, because of our human experience, we get really worked up in our heads about things. So this type of a practice, dropping into your hara and bringing it up, connecting with your breath, opening your heart, dropping in, bringing it up, that's a practice you can have to make sure you're always in that sacred wisdom, not in that mind stream, that monkey mind stream, right? That just kind of gets us worked up. And so I like to think of that as the living wisdom, even more than the sacred. I know it's sacred, it's coming from that place of sacred connection, but I want to remember that it's living inside of me all the time, whether I'm paying attention to it or not. And that the divine is always connected there and expanding my wisdom and expanding my love and my ability to discern better. So when life gets stressful, we can't escape that, right? It gives us the opportunity to practice skillful means. And skillful means is showing up to a challenge and being able to clearly decipher, how do I walk in light and love in this situation? How do I respond rather than react? How do I make sure that what I'm choosing to reflect in this situation is the divine light in me? And when we breathe and we slow down to do that, and you do this enough, you take that deep breath so low that it goes right to that hara and brings it right up through your third eye, and you can react to that instead of the situation, and it gives you that moment to respond in a divine way. Does that make sense? Do you feel that? When we go into that level of discernment, we are disarming our own suffering, our own egos. When we're in a state of stress and it's kind of melting us down, right? We're all there. Happened just in traffic on the way here today. Right? How fast can we get triggered by the outside world, right? But taking that breath, that sacred breath, allows that automatic pathway to start. And the beautiful thing is, your spirit already knows how to do this. You're physiologically programmed to do this without effort. So you just took the effort to do it, but if you're tuned in and turned on and really connected by intentionally being present in your life, this is an auto button, guys. This is beautiful. It's the way our divine just activates inside of us. And it gives us that ability to have that discernment, and that wisdom lives inside of us and breathes inside of us. And so you recognize that the longer you're tuned in and living presently and intentionally, this grows. This becomes so finely tuned that your intuition is guiding you more than your ego is. That's walking sacred. That's living sacred. That's breathing sacred, right? So what happens when you can't get that turned on? When you're just feeling really kind of stuck, you know? This is a space where slowing down and being is the call. You're doing too much, whether you're doing too much here, you're doing too much out here, you're leaning out of your center, and it's a call back to your center. And it's as simple as getting some quiet around you and breathing again and remembering that this is auto-generated inside of you when you set the intention and invite it back in again. And that's all it takes, is the invitation. It's easy when we're in this room. It's easy when we're all together. It's easy when we're around people that practice what we practice, right? Because I want nothing more than to show up and give you a big hug and a smile, because you're already beaming, right? But what happens when I get out there in the grocery store and I'm running up against somebody who is not? Who's clearly not in a space of any form of sacred living? That's when I breathe a little deeper, and my wisdom eye reminds me that that's a person I pray for. That that's a person that needs my compassion. And my wisdom tells me that the skillful means that I need is compassion, is to love, is to show up and not let my fear overcome me. Because when I'm reacting to something, it's my fear, not my love. Love is right under there, but there's this like smoke screen, right? How dare they? Who are they? My ego shows up to protect myself. It's just protection. And then we have to remember, it's not needed. I'm here to be the walking light and to help other people turn their light on. And I'm not going to change that person in the grocery store in that moment. We don't know when that light's going to come on for them, when they're going to remember that and turn that on. But that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is here with me. So connecting to my breath and letting that auto-generate again is what my responsibility is, because it's my agreement with the divine. I want to be here to walk in light, and I want to spread light and peace in the world. And there are times we're going to be so tested. it's going to get down into the bones. It's going to be so hard. But that's where your faith builds up, and that's the living wisdom that grows deeper and deeper and stronger, so that when it needs to show up, it is so bright and so right there supporting you. You know that divine light is right there with you. It is a sacred walk. It is a sacred talk. You are right there, and God is holding your hand. Whether you're in traffic, whether you're holding somebody's hand who's dying, whether you're a caretaker, whether something terrible is happening at work, or a family is splitting up, stay in your light. And that dials back all of that suffering because your ego's not taking charge. So as we take that out into the world, we want to be generous with it. Especially right now, we want to be generous. There is an upheaval of challenge. Politically, globally, everywhere. Everybody has permission to not keep their disgruntledness hidden anymore. That's a gift. That's a gift for those of us that want more light in the world, because it's no longer hidden. It's no longer in the recesses of their subconscious. It's no longer thought of but not spoken. People are being given this gift of being able to say what they think. And if what they're saying isn't love, now we know where the work is. That's the gift we have, is that we see it, we know it, and we bring it stronger. So be generous and allow that breath to show your spirit where you're needed more than your ego and your humanity. Don't shy away into your fear. Show up with your light. That's the sacred wisdom that all of us have, and we know how to use that. And bring that skillful means of being able to truly connect to somebody. Even if they don't love themselves enough, you can bring the love for them. So, let's close our eyes for a moment. I invite you to get down there in your hara. Breathe into that, fortify it, strengthen it. And if there's something troubling you, if there's something you're struggling with, just bring that question very gently into that space, and then just allow the energy to rise. Let it go through your heart, through the compassion space, through your throat chakra, and up into your third eye. And just be with that. And whether it comes now or later, you've asked, you've planted it, and your higher self is going to show you what those answers are. Allow this effort to be offered up for all those that aren't connected, that are still waiting to awaken, that are under strife and suffering. Give gratitude to your ancestors that are there to help answer your requests, that have passed along 7 generations back, all the way to you, all the blessings you need in this life. Open yourself to fully receive them so that you may pass all of your blessings on 7 generations forward. Be the blessing you're meant to be in the world, and start with yourself. Start with yourself. Give yourself the love, the forgiveness, and the intentions of what the divine's already gifted you with. Come back into the room. Recognize that this is the light and you take it from here. It starts in here. Be generous with it in the world. And that's the sacred wisdom. Aho.
If you would like to support this content and others like it, please give at unityoftoledo.com, where love is an everyday experience.